Kenyatta, Vice President William Ruto, and the Jubilee Coalition. And all the people of Kenya on their victory in the March 4th, 2013 presidential and general elections. Hongera sana. The people of Uganda congratulate you all, especially for holding peaceful elections. Asante sana kufanya uchaguzi wa amani. Allow me to also thank the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka together with other presidential candidates who participated in this election, although they did not win in the end. In reality, however, they too won because they enriched the process by offering clear options, out of which the 14 million voters in Kenya could choose from. In particular, I would like to salute Right Honorable Raila Odinga and Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka for the statesman-like manner in which they handled the election outcome. They took their grievances to the court and accepted the verdict, although this was not favorable to them. I must also congratulate the Jubilee Coalition Sasa nyinyi mnashangilia Jubilee Coalition peke yake? Mshangalie na wale wenzenu ambao hawakufaulu nao mwashangilie. Hii ndio demokrasi. Demokrasi ni kwa Uganda tunasema okuvuganya, competition. I must also congratulate the Jubilee Coalition for being magnanimous and not provocative as they celebrated their victory. We also must salute the Kenyan media for exhibiting a high standard of professional integrity and maturity throughout the exercise. Ndikuwa natazama baadhi ya vyombo vya habari hapa, lakini vizuri walikuwa hawachochee safari hii. This maturity exhibited by different actors in this Kenyan electoral process is a source of pride for all the Africans. I congratulate you all. Sasa tunajivuna kwa sababu mmefanya uchaguzi wa amani. Na tunatoa hongera kwenu nyinyi wote. President Uhuru Kenyatta, the people of Kenya have given you the mantle of leadership at a time when great opportunities exist in the East African region. There is total peace and harmony in the entire region. And as you know, that was not always the case. By concerted actions and sacrifice, we are together forcing all chauvinistic and wrong ideologies to retreat from our region, especially in Somalia. This will mean full peace and focus on programs that ensure real prosperity for East Africans, for the people in Somalia, and for the people in South Sudan. Our region has also discovered substantial quantities of oil and natural gas. All the member countries of the East African community have varying levels and amounts of deposits of these natural resources. Uganda in particular discovered oil in 2006, but has not been able to start the extraction process owing to a battle our country had with oil companies. Some of them had the usual stereotype impression about Africa of being unable to understand our needs, let alone develop our resources in a correct manner. We rejected those schemes, and we are now about to conclude an oil and gas extraction plan that will be equitable to Uganda and to the oil companies. Time has come, therefore, for our region to coordinate policies that will optimize the use of our natural resources and make efficient use of their exploitation for the transformation of our communities. As you all know, African nations have been struggling, begging, borrowing from external sources to develop infrastructure that allowed them a steady path to industrialization. On account of this coordinated effort and unit of purpose, we will meaningfully exploit our resources which God has now given us, add value to them, and fully grow our economies to maturity and begin an irreversible break from poverty. This will be the true independence that African nations fought for. East Africa is not about oil alone. It is also, first and foremost, about trade and the exchange of goods and services, utilizing the integrated market of East Africa. These newly discovered natural resources, therefore, are only catalysts to enable us to move quickly and develop other sectors that are more durable and sustainable than minerals, including oil and gas. Among the areas that we must aggressively develop is the trade within and outside the region for Africa, so that the oil and the gas found does not divert us, important as they may be. Our inexhaustible source of wealth is in agriculture, industry, services, and the human resource that consumes what is produced, and in turn produces items of trade. We need to improve the atmosphere for the East African producers, the business people, by completing the economic integration of East Africa. The intra-East African trade, for example, is still small, standing at only 13%. Our trade with the European Union is 60%, and North America, 48%. Removing infrastructure barriers, using our discovered natural resources, and tackling production capacity constraints, skilling our labor force, therefore, will enhance productivity at household and enterprise levels and make our economy much stronger. We should also remove completely the phenomenon of non-tariff barriers, such as numerous way bridges, police roadblocks, delays at the border crossings, etc. In the scriptures, there is the Lord's Prayer, which teaches us that thou shalt not lead us in temptation, but deliver us from evil. By remaining weak and fragmented, Africa tempts the greedy to try and dominate her. Africa has got a duty to stop tempting others. Africa must integrate and strengthen herself. An integrated market makes it easier for companies to make a profit because they have more buyers. Now, this is my own opinion. It's not for the region, the one I'm going to say now. Because at the beginning I said on behalf of ESC, on behalf of COMESA, because I happen to be chairperson of those. But this is my personal opinion now. Furthermore, I want to salute the Kenyan voters on one other issue. The rejection of the blackmail by the International Criminal Court and those who seek to abuse this institution for their own agenda. I was one of those that supported the ICC because I abhor impunity. However, the usual opinionated and arrogant actors, using their careless and shallow analysis, have now distorted the purpose of that institution. They are now using it to install leaders of their choice in Africa and eliminate the ones they do not like. What happened here in 2007 was regrettable and must be condemned. A legalistic process, especially an external one, however, cannot address those events. Events of this nature, first and foremost, and most importantly, need an ideological solution by discerning why they happen. Why did intercommunity violence occur? Was it for genuine reasons or for false reasons? Even if you assume there were genuine reasons as a hypothetical argument, why should villagers attack one another? would the villagers have been responsible for whatever mistakes that would have occurred. Instead of a thorough and thoughtful process, we have got individuals engaged in legal gymnastics in far-off land. In Uganda's case, between 1966 and 1986, we lost about 800,000 people killed by the leaders who were in charge of that country. Sisi Uganda tulipoteza watu 800,000 ambao waliuawa wakati wa miaka 1966 1986, 800,000 ambao waliuawa. How did we handle that sad history? Have you ever heard us asking ICC or the United Nations to come and help us deal with that sad chapter of our history? Nyinyi mmewahi kusikia kwamba tumeita Umoja wa Mataifa? Siwezi kukubali Umoja wa Mataifa Uganda. We only referred Joseph Kony of LRA to ICC because he was operating outside Uganda. Otherwise, we would have handled him ourselves. Equally, Kenyan actors are the ones best qualified to sit and delve in their history in order to discover the ideological stimuli the Kenyan society needs. I therefore use this opportunity to salute the Kenyan voters again for rejecting that blackmail and upholding the sovereignty of the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya extended hospitality to Ugandans when they had to run out of their country because of criminal rule in Uganda. Kawaida nawaambia kwamba watoto wangu wengi ni wa Tanzania kwa sababu walizaliwa Tanzania, lakini walikulia hapa baadaye kwa sababu Uganda ilikuwa na shida. Mliweza kutupa fahasi ya kujificha kwa muda wakati tulikuwa tunapigana kurudi kwetu. Asante sana. I thank the people of Kenya and their leaders for this. Finally, I salute His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, with whom I worked so closely and who has served Kenya for the last 50 years in political leadership. He also contributed to the struggle of Uganda's independence when he was a lecturer and a student at Makerere University in the 1950s and 1960s. May his retirement be enjoyable. Mwisho, on a lighter note, nashukuru serikali ya Kenya. Leo wakati nilifika, walinipa mbunge mpya kunisindikiza, na huyu mbunge mpya anatoka West Pokot. Watu wa West Pokot wamekuwa wanaiba ngombe zangu. Kwa hiyo nimekubaliana na huyu mbunge na nataka kumwomba Rais Uhuru au watu wa West Pokot waache kuiba ng'ombe zangu tafadhali. Asante sana wananchi wa Kenya, asante sana.